Good morning, students. This is Devi, lecturer in electronics, Department of Electronics from MVNJS and RVR Degree College, Malkipura. This is the video for 3rd BSc MECS electronics students for paper 5A microprocessors. Today our topic is architecture of 8085 microprocessor. First, what is architecture of 8085 microprocessor? What it contains, we can see now. Microprocessor is a single IC package in which several useful functions are integrated and fabricated on a single silicon semiconductor chip. So its architecture consists of CPU, memory modules, system bus, input or output units, ALU, timing control units, instruction decoders, instruction registers, all are contained in this architecture of 8085 microprocessor. The main function of the architecture of 8085 microprocessor is central processing unit. So now we can see all the blocks of architecture of 8085 microprocessor. So this is the block diagram of architecture of 8085 microprocessor. Internally there is a 8-bit internal data bus. Here bus means group of wires are a cables. So this 8-bit internal data bus is connected with so many blocks. It contains a interrupt control, serial input or output control, accumulator, temporary registers, flags, instruction register, instruction decoder. Here there is a register select. It contains WZ, B, C, D, E, H, L, and SP means stack pointer, PC means program counter, increment or decrement. Next, address buffer, data and address buffer, ladder, timing and control unit, ALU. These are the blocks of architecture of 8085 microprocessor. Now we can see the functional explanation of each block. This is the block diagram of 8085 microprocessor. Next, before going to the functional explanation of 8085 microprocessor, now we see some of the features of 8085 microprocessor. So 8085 is pronounced as 8085 microprocessor. We call it as 8085 or 8085 microprocessor. It is an 8-bit microprocessor designed by Intel in 1977 using NMOS technology. Here NMOS means N-type metal oxide semiconductor. By using this technology, Intel Corporation was designed this 8-bit microprocessor in 1977. So it has following configurations. It contains 8-bit data bus, 16-bit address bus, and which can address up to 64 kilobytes. Next, 16-bit program counter, 16-bit stack pointer, and it has 6 8-bit registers which are nothing but general purpose registers that are arranged in pairs BC, DE, HL, and it requires 5 volts power supply for its operation, and its clock speed was 3.2 MHz. Here clock speed means the operating speed of the microprocessor. Next, the memory size of any microprocessor depends on number of address lines. The general formula is 2 power of n, where n is number of address lines. In our 8085 microprocessor, total 16 address lines are there. So in the place of n, we substitute 16. Therefore, 2 power of 16 means 64 kilobytes of memory size the 8085 microprocessor can occupy. So this is the some of the features of 8085 microprocessor. Next, we see functional explanation of 8085 microprocessor each block. So first block, registers. These registers are nothing but set of flip-flops, and these registers are basically used to hold or to store the data. For storing or holding purpose, these registers can used in 8085 microprocessor. Next, we see general purpose registers. So 8085 microprocessor contains total 6 general purpose registers. Now we see in block diagram. Here there is a register select. It contains B, C, D, E and HL. These are 6 general purpose registers, and each general purpose register can store 8-bit data. So these 6 general purpose registers that are present inside the microprocessor and stores 8-bit data in order to execute a program. These general purpose registers are B, C, D, E, H and L. We already discussed now. So these registers can be combined to form pairs B, C, D, E, H, L in order to execute 16-bit operation. These are generally 8-bit registers. If we want to execute 16-bit operation, these registers are combined to form a pairs like B, C, D, E and H, L for its execution. Next, these general purpose registers are programmable register. Programmable register means these are accessed by the programmer for insertion and transferring the data for making use of the instructions. So these are the general purpose registers and registers. Later we see temporary registers. These registers are used by ALU to store the data on temporary basis, and these are not accessed by the programmer. Before block general purpose registers, these are actually programmable registers, means these are accessed by the programmer, but in temporary registers these are only for ALU purpose, but these are not accessed by the programmer. So there are of two types, temporary data register and W and Z register. First one, temporary data register. It is an 8-bit register that holds the operands and provides it to the ALU for program execution. Also, immediate results are stored by the ALU in this register. Here, temporary data register means it holds only the operands. Here, operand means, for example, if we are adding two numbers or two values, that means 1 plus 2. We are adding 1 plus 2. That 1 and 2 indicates that operands. That value indicates that operands. So it holds the operands and it provides it to the ALU for program execution. Next, once execution takes place, also the immediate results are stored by the ALU in this register. These temporary registers hold the operands and immediate results are also stored in ALU by using this register. Next, W and Z register. These registers are also used to hold the temporary values only. It is used by the control section of the microprocessor so as to store the data during operation. It cannot be utilized with the developer. So next, accumulator. We see in the block diagram, accumulator is connected to ALU. So this accumulator is it is an 8-bit register and used to perform arithmetic, logical, input or output and load or store operations. It is connected to internal data bus and ALU. We already discussed now. This is connected to internal data bus and ALU. This accumulator is mainly used to perform arithmetic and logical operations and input or output operations and load or storing operations. For this purpose, this accumulator is used. Next, we see arithmetic and logical unit. You all are familiar with this arithmetic and logical unit. You can now see, as the name suggests, it performs arithmetic and logical operations like addition, subtraction, and or, nor, XOR. These operations all are performing arithmetic and logical unit. Arithmetic means here addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. These are all are done in arithmetic operation. While as in logical operation means AND operation, OR operation, XOR operation, NOR operation. These all are done on 8-bit data. Next, program counter. It is a 16-bit register used to store the memory address location of next instruction to be executed. The microprocessor increments the program whenever an instruction is being executed, so that program counter points to the memory address of the next instruction that is going to be executed. It is generally a 16-bit register. Mainly these are used to store the memory address location. For every instruction of execution takes place some memory address location. This program counter automatically increments once the execution takes place. This program counter automatically increments the next memory address location. This is that's why it is for storing the memory address location of next instruction that is to be executed. Next, stack pointer. It is also a 16-bit register. It just works like a stack, which is always incremented or decremented by 2 during push and pop operation. Next we see flag register. It is an 8-bit register having 5 1-bit flip-flops which holds either 0 or 1 depending upon the result stored in the accumulator. Whatever the result stored in the accumulator, the flag register has some of the flags. It contains 5 flags, that sign flag, 0 flag, auxiliary carry flag, parity flag and carry flag. It is a 8-bit register. That's why it having D0 to D7 pins. Here D0 have some functionality, D1 has some functionality, D2 has some functionality and so on D7. Here D0 has carry flag, which is nothing but CY, carry flag. D1 is empty, D2 is parity flag, D3 is empty and D4 is auxiliary carry flag, D6 is 0 flag and D7 is sign flag. D1, D3, D5 are undefined bits or user defined bits. So now see the operation. For example, if we add the two numbers CB and E9, here it is CD and E9. Here C in binary form 1100 and B means 1011. Next E9 1110. Next 1001. If we are performing addition operation, the result will be 10110100. Now see each flag, which flag is set and which flag is reset. If the result contains all zeros, 0 flag is set to 1. Here we see the result 10110100. The result contains ones and zeros. So there is non-zero. The result is non-zero. So therefore 0 flag is set to 0. That means it is reset. If the result contains all zeros, then 0 flag is set to 1. This is about 0 flag. Next, parity flag. Whenever the parity flag is set means if we get the result even number of ones, then parity flag is set to 1. If we did not get the even number of ones, then parity flag is reset, means it is 0. We see the result, there is 4 number of ones. That means even number of ones are there. 4 means even number. Therefore, parity flag is set to 1. If we get odd number of ones, then parity flag is reset. Then only parity flag is set to 1 means even number of ones the result contains, parity flag is set to 1. This is about parity flag. Next, auxiliary carry flag. There is a carry from 3rd bit to 4th bit or lower nibble to upper nibble. Auxiliary carry flag is set to 1. Here we see the arrow mark, auxiliary carry flag. There is a 3rd bit from 4th bit, there is a carry. So auxiliary carry flag is set to 1. Next, carry flag. There is a carry. If there is a carry from lower significant bit to more significant bit, then carry flag is set to 1. Next, sign flag. MSB of the sum is 1, sign flag is set to 1. If MSB of the sum is 0, sign flag is reset. That means 0. This is about the flag registers and its example. Next, instruction register and decoder. It is an 8-bit register. When an instruction is fetched from the memory, then it is stored in the instruction register. Instruction decoder decodes the information present in the instruction register. Whenever the instruction is fetched from the memory, first it is stored into the instruction register. This instruction register, whatever the information present in the instruction register, The instruction decoder decodes it. This is about instruction decoder and register. Next, timing and control unit. It provides timing and control signals to the microprocessor to perform operations. Following are the timing and control signals which control external and internal circuits. Here there is a control signals. Control signals are ready signal, RD means read signal, WR means write signal. Here ALE means address latch enable. These are the control signals. Later we see what are the control signals and its functionality. Next, status signals. Status signals here S0, S1, IO by M bar. Here IO means input or output or memory bar. DMA signals means hold signal, HLDA signal. Hold and HLDA. HLDA means hold acknowledgement. Next, reset signal. Reset in, reset out. These are the timing and control signals to perform operations and control signals to the microprocessor. And also we see in block diagram these timing and control unit. Here we see timing and control circuit. It has some clock out, ready, read bar, write bar, ALE, S0, S1, IO by M bar, hold signal, reset signal. These are some of the pins we discussed now. These are the control signals, status signals, DMA signal, reset signals. Next we see interrupt control. As the name suggests, it controls the interrupts during a process. Whenever microprocessor is executing a main program, whenever an interrupt occurs, the microprocessor shifts the control from main program to process the incoming request. After the request is completed, the control goes back to the main program. Total there are 5 interrupt signals in 8085 microprocessor, which is nothing but INTR, reset. RST means reset 7.5, RST means reset 6.5, reset 5.5 and trap signal. These are 5 interrupt signals in the 8085 microprocessor. So this is about interrupt control. Next, serial input or output control. It controls the serial data communication by using these two instructions. SID means serial input data and SOD means serial output data. Next, address buffer and address data buffer. The content stored in the stack pointer and program counter is loaded into the address buffer, and address data buffer is to communicate with CPU. The memory and input or output chips are connected to these buses. The CPU can exchange the desired data with memory and input or output chips. Whatever the content stored in the stack pointer and program counter, that is automatically or directly loaded into the address buffer and address data buffer for its communication with CPU. These address and data buffer are connected to these buses that CPU can exchange the data with memory and input or output chips. This is about address buffer and data buffer. Next, address bus and data bus. So the data bus carries the data to be stored. Whatever the data is to be stored, the data will be carried by data bus, and this data bus, it is bidirectional, whereas address bus carries the location to where it is stored and it is unidirectional. Here there are two buses, address bus and data bus. Data bus means whatever the data is stored, it carries by the data bus and it is bidirectional, but address bus is unidirectional. It carries only the location where it can be stored. That location will be address bus will be carried. So address and data bus is used to transfer the data and address input or output devices. This is mainly used to transferring the data. So this is the interrupt control instruction register and decoder, and if we are performing any operation, that is addition or subtraction, addition operation, which flag is set and which flag is reset, we now see in this block diagram. Next, temporary register and What are the general purpose register? We all are seeing this architecture of 8085 microprocessor. So okay, thank you all.